Hello, today I'm going to be talking about the effects of cognitive biases on the interview process. This is the agenda for today. Types of interviews, what is cognitive bias? The two biases that I've decided to speak on are the halo effect and the framing effect, implications for the firm, what can be done about this issue, and my conclusion. So there's many types of interviews and there's also different approaches to interviews. There's one-on-one interviews, which are the most common, with one interviewer and one candidate. Then there's the panel interviews, which is a team-based interview of several interviewers, where they can exchange notes and their own and ideas, and then come up with who they want to hire as a team decision. And the online interview, which is now becoming more rapidly expanding. There's two kinds. There's the real-time one-on-one interview, and then there's the on-demand interview. The on-demand is where the person can access the interview during their own time. So it has more freedom for the candidate. And there's different approaches. There's the structured or directive approach, which has a set of specific questions that are standard, that are asked to every candidate. The unstructured or non-directive approach is more of a free-flowing conversation, and it gives the candidate more freedom. Questions that are usually asked in this unstructured interview are, tell me more about yourself, and questions along those lines. And we have also behavioral interviews, which focus on asking questions about past experiences, how they've resolved problems in the past. We also have stress interviews, which are usually done more in customer related jobs, customer service jobs, and police officers and that type of position. And these are more like hostile environments that are created by the interviewer to see how this person reacts under pressure. What is a cognitive bias? A cognitive bias refers to the tendency of individuals to make systematic judgment errors when making decisions. As you can see here, these are the objectives. And then over here is what confirms your beliefs. And this is in the middle is what we actually see. For the purpose of my paper, I would like to focus on the halo effect and the framing effect. The halo effect is a cognitive bias in which our impression of a person in one area influences our opinion in another unrelated area. This can result in unfounded judgments about a person's character or ability to perform certain tasks. For example, attributes of that person, such as charisma, their personality traits, can affect how the interviewer sees that person. Physical attractiveness is another one. And accomplishments. Let's say the person has an MBA from Harvard. Automatically, when that candidate walks through the door, the interviewer already has a perception of them as being very intelligent, and this will be the light for the remainder of the interview, how they will be judged. The framing effect is the other type of cognitive bias that I chose to focus on. What is a framing effect? It's a type of cognitive bias in which people react to a particular choice depending on how the choice is presented. For example, as a loss or a gain. Here, 66% empty, 33% full. It's the same exact statement, phrased differently. Examples during an interview. The way a candidate phrases their answers. Positive versus negative wording. If a candidate is positive and explains all of their answers in a positive light, this will give a positive perception of that candidate, even if they're saying the same thing. The way the interviewer asks the question. The interviewer could also frame questions in a way that benefits some candidates more than others. What are the implications for the company? Number one, when hiring the wrong candidate, the company will now risk eventually losing business or complete business failure. If not, it will prevent the development of the company. Another implication is improper selection means the rejection of good applicants, and also higher employee turnover. 75% of employers said that they have hired the wrong person for a position, according to careerbuilder.com. Effective interview trainings is definitely a way to ensure this doesn't happen. Cognitive biases must be a topic during interview trainings. By learning about them, interviewers will become more self-aware. Questions to ask during training. Does your fondness of a person's enthusiasm lead you to ignore competence and ability? Does your impression of an applicant's charisma lead you to feel that they are also smart, honest, and hardworking? So these are good questions, and training on that will definitely help during the interview process. As a conclusion, hiring the wrong employees can definitely result in business failure. Proper interview trainings are the solution. And lastly, the outcome will be a lot more organizational productivity. We want the workforce to have the vision, the mission, and the values of the company.